Hello, welcome to the Crates Motel. My name's Conan. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the new multiband filter from Air for your MPC Standalone and software. If you're watching this before December the 2nd, get online. It's absolutely free. Download it. I'm really excited about this plugin. Let's jump in. So this video is going to be a little bit different from my normal videos. This isn't really going to be a plugin review. This isn't really going to be a deep dive into the plugin because there's already a couple of videos online doing that. Check out Akai and also Air. They both have quite in-depth videos on their YouTube channels going into every function. What this video is, what I'm hoping this video is food for thought. It's an inspiring video. I hope that's what I'm aiming for. I haven't spent long enough with the plugin yet to really do a deep dive, and if you want a deep dive video and you want to watch me apply it to loads of different sources and stuff, that's probably going to come in the next month or so, because I don't like doing videos on plugins unless I really know a lot about them first, because I just think it's a bit pointless, frankly. But saying that, the reason why I have jumped on this and made a video quite quickly after spending a day or two with the plugin, I mean, I spent a fair bit of time with the plugin and I understand it now, but what it is that I'm excited about it. And what I'm excited about is what this plugin represents. It's not necessarily going to be about what the plugin can do or how to use the plugin, but what this plugin represents to me is a big step forward for the plugins inside the MPC, and I think it's the shape of things to come. Now, this is all hearsay, speculation, etc., and I don't often do that on my channel, to be honest, because again, it's not really the kind of thing that I do. However, an educated guess tells me that there are things in this plugin which haven't been available before in a plugin in the MPC, and they are available now. And I think that this is kind of Air and Akai kind of reaching out and seeing how it behaves, how we react to it as a community. And I think it's kind of like they're kind of tickling us a little bit and showing us what is going to come. Again, it's speculation. But this is why I think the video is food for thought, because I want, you know, the last couple of days have been really exciting on the forums and in Facebook groups and on YouTube and stuff, and people I've been speaking to, because as a community, everybody has kind of jumped on the plugin because it's free. So a lot of people have jumped on it. And it's been fun watching people discover it, try out different things. People that have never used a plugin like this before, people completely confused by it, and then suddenly having that kind of moment where they're eureka, oh, I know what it does now. But also the discussion that people have been having about what this plugin represents going forward in terms of the GUI, in terms of the coding, in terms of what it can do. And that's been more exciting to me rather than necessarily actually what the plugin does. Now, I'm rambling a little bit now, but I wanted to do this introduction properly because I wanted to, I didn't want to do, I guess I wanted to explain to you that this is not going to be a deep dive video where I show you on tons of different sources. It's really going to be about what I've discovered about it so far and my thoughts on where this plugin is going to take us, this format of plugin is going to take us, and the way that it's coded and the graphic user interface on it. And that is more exciting for me. So we're going to jump in. I've got some beats and stuff on my MPC, and I'm just going to run through, you know, kind of a little bit of a voyage of discovery, if you like, and hopefully some inspiration along the way. So jumping into the plugin really quickly, the first thing that you will notice is the GUI. There it is in all its beauty, a visualization of the source. Now, it's not the best visualization in the world. It's a little bit laggy, and I'm sort of on the fence about how accurate it is as a visualization when I compared the sample in iZotope RX11, which is very accurate, and various other visual aids. But it's a start. We're there. We've got something that we've been asking for a long time. And the reason why I'm excited about this plugin is, and the reason why I said this could be the beginning of something, is this could be the beginning of all of the plugins, all the future plugins having an interface like this, being able to visualize. Now, I will say this, and this is from a personal point of view. I'm not really, I don't mix to visuals. And I don't really want to be that guy that says trust your ears, because visual aids can be very, very helpful. However, for me, it's not really a big thing that there's not been visual aids in the MPC. But that aside, it's not about me, it's about everybody, it's about the community, and a lot of people have been asking for this. And a lot of people do like to have visual aids when they mix. So this is a breakthrough. Now, the next thing I will say is that it's pre-effects. So when you start playing around with the filter, it doesn't actually change. Now, what's been great about the community over the last couple of days is that I've seen people, you know, they've seen the GUI, they've seen that there's a visual representation, there's a visual aid, and they've seen that it's pre-effects, and they're kind of a little bit disappointed. But then people would see the workarounds, the way that you can use that. You could put it at the end of your chain, and then you will have a visual representation of what's going in. So you could have 3 plugins before it and leave that at the end, or you could put it on your mix bus, or you could put it on a submix, or you can use it as a visual aid. And the exciting thing is that this is probably what's going to happen in terms of, you know, are they going to be plugins that come out now in the MPC that are just visual aids? Are we going to get something that's been asked for in the community for a long time, where you have the visualization? So, you know, that in itself, that's why this plugin is exciting for me, because it's not necessarily about what the plugin does or how to use it. It's what the plugin represents, I think, in terms of what Akai and Air are going to be doing in the future. So let's move on from that. We don't want to dwell on that for too long. I've probably already dwelled on it for too long. So just running through the plugin very quickly. You have 2 crossover points. You have 3 bands, low, mid, high band. You can change the crossover points here. So this obviously will set where you work in terms of your mid band, your low band, and your highs. Very sort of simple and straightforward. Now, whilst this is a filter plugin, this is another exciting thing for me, and that's why I'm excited about this plugin. It's a filter plugin, but think about the basic fundamentals of an EQ. EQs are just filters. And the very first EQs were just that. They were basically filters. So this is a filter bank. However, it can double up, triple up, quadruple up as many other things, because of the fact that filters run at the very basic foundations of so many different plugins that we use, or so many pieces of hardware, etc., that we use. So it is a multi-band filter bank, but it is also an EQ. It is a dynamic filter. It is a multi-band saturation plugin. It can be used to filter out bad resonance. You know, it's not limitless, but there is certainly a lot more that you can do with it if you think out of the box a little bit. And again, that's what this video, I want this video to be about. It's not, here's multi-band filter bank, it's a filter, you can do this with it, here are the controls. I don't know why I'm speaking like this. It's a bit patronizing, so I'm going to stop speaking like it now. But basically what I'm trying to say is, this is a multi-band filter bank, but it's so much more. It's wide-reaching, the things that you can do with it. However, let's look at what initially you can do with it as, let's say, as a filter bank. So at the moment I've got low band selected. So with the cutoff frequency, and then obviously you have your resonance on there as well. And what that in effect is doing is adding a little kind of bump to the start of the filter. The resonant peak, the best way to describe it. Just take that back to where it was. And then what you can do on each channel, this is where it's exciting for me. One of my favorite plugins is a plugin called Saturn by FabFilter. And it's kind of like a multi-band saturation plugin. And I absolutely love it. I use it for EQing, for saturation, as a color box. I use it for so many different things, and that's kind of, I'm not saying that this is on the level of Saturn by FabFilter, but it's definitely kind of you can do similar things with it. So with this drive here, on each individual band, I can basically push an amount of saturation into the band that the band that I'm selecting and the area that I'm selecting, and this, just as a color box to mix and bring out certain elements. It's better than an EQ because you're bringing out harmonics and saturation, and those big words that everyone loves at the moment. Saturation is like a big, a trend word. And with this pre-drive, see, for instance, I've got this running through Air Lo-Fi and it's kind of simulating an SP1200 12-bit sample. So you have that kind of aliasing ring sound, and I love that. With this high band pre-drive, I can really bring out that kind of ringy, kind of sizzly. So you see how you can use the saturation, the pre-drive, on the individual bands to bring out elements, and you're bringing out harmonics, and it's kind of like a saturation drive. So really, really exciting for me, and that was kind of how I was using it on samples. But you can also use it in the classic way as well. If I just take this back, and this one, take that one back as well. So you can use it kind of as a classic filter as well, to low pass and high pass, that kind of thing. Another exciting thing that you can do with it, which is really cool, is you have the modulation on there, and you can modulate depending on what you're doing with the bands, like the other bands. So you can use the low band to modulate what's going on in the high band. So just to give you, probably this is not going to be the best sound to do it on. Okay, so I'm working on the high band here, but I've got it set to, the modulation set to low follow. And you can see here in the envelope follow that it's using the low end. I could never remember whether it was to lower the modulation or increase the modulation. So you can hear now, I mean, I'm pushing this to the extreme because I want to show what you can actually do with the modulation, but basically I'm using the low end to open the filter up as such. And then the rise and fall almost act kind of like an attack and release. So That's probably not the best example because it's unlikely. I mean, that doesn't really sound particularly good. But the reason why I'm using this as an example is because I wanted to be able to show how you can use the modulation to, for instance, use the low band to open the filter up for the high part of the source. And you know, once you start doing things like that, you know, with things like guitars, transient sounds, synths, even pianos, vocals, you know, you can really start getting creative. And this is why, again, to do a deep dive in this plugin, you can see how enthusiastic I am about this plugin. Honestly, it really is. When I first downloaded it, I thought, this is a bit, But once I started playing around, once I worked out how to use the modulation, and you know, and suddenly that I had that eureka moment where I was like, wow, I've got, it's not just a multiband filter, it's a dynamic filtering plugin, it's a multiband saturation plugin, it's an EQ, I can DS, and there's just so much that you can do with it. And that's why this video isn't really a deep dive, because you know, I actually spoke to somebody today on I think it was on YouTube from the community. Yeah, it was one of my community posts. That was it. And I was saying that I can't do a really deep dive yet because there's so much that you can do with this. You literally could make a 2 or 3 hour video, but I want to get people's juices flowing. You know, I want people to, you know, to start seeing what they can do with it. And what I've loved about this particular plugin release is that I've watched the community as a whole jump on this and discover together, and have you tried this, have you tried that, you know, and people are saying, oh, why don't we do this, and have you realized that you can do that with it? And it's been so exciting to see that, to see everyone get together and muck in, and I haven't really seen any toxic opinions or views. Let's not go into the issues that a lot of people had actually downloading it, I myself included. Some people downloaded it instantly and had absolutely no problems, but took me about 24 hours. I know there are some people that have been trying for 2 or 3 days. I really hope that if they don't get it by tomorrow, which is December the 2nd, which I think is the cut-off period for it being free, I hope that Akai honour the people that signed up for it previous to December 2nd, and they still honour it, because it's going to be really unfair if they don't. It's very, very clear to me and to a lot of people in the community that Akai haven't got the servers to handle an influx of people immediately, you know, all at the same time trying to download things. This happens every Black Friday. You know, it's a video in itself, to be honest, but I don't want to sit here and bitch. We're very, very lucky that we can get this plugin for free. We're very lucky that we have these amazing plugins and that we have these amazing machines. So 1 or 2 days a year when you can't necessarily instantly connect, it's not really a big deal. I know it feels like a big deal at the time, and I did have to count to 10 and sit there and go, I am zen, because I was excited about the plugin and I wanted it, on my machine, and I wanted to play around with it, and I couldn't because of the servers, etc. But anyway, now I have it and I'm really happy, and I hope everybody else has downloaded it and has started using it as well now. I am starting to see filter through on the community and in forums that more people are being able to download it now, and there's less problems with the servers. It's just, it's Black Friday, everyone's doing it, you know, everyone's downloading it and etc. So that hasn't really been too much of a deep dive into the actual plugin, but if I'm to basically explain it, well, how can I explain? Like, I wanted this video to be about what this plugin represents, what this plugin going forward is showing us that they can do in the MPC, you know, with the GUI and with the, I guess, almost side chaining, with the envelope follow, that kind of stuff. It's just it's opening more doors, and I do think this is a little teaser for what's to come. Again, speculation. So I might be talking out of my butt, but I'm really enthusiastic about this plugin, and aside from the fact that it's given me something similar to FabFilter Saturn in my MPC, aside from the fact that it's given me some old school EQ filtering, that is giving me dynamic filtering, that I can play around with the different bands. I can change how the bands are. I've got this attack and release on the envelope follow. I've got this pre-drive, this saturation, everything. There's just so much going on, and the ability to be able to change bands and move where the band is and solo each band. It's just, well, solo each band. There you go. I'm more enthusiastic about this plugin than I think I've been about any plugin in the MPC for quite a long time. I was excited about Air Flavor Pro when it came out, and this is nothing compared to Air Flavor Pro on the surface, because it's just a filter. That's all it is. But if you really think out of the box, so there you have it. As you can see, I am super enthusiastic about this plugin, about what it can do, about the possibilities, about what it's showing that can be done. Just also want to touch on the fact that it doesn't take up very much CPU and opens very quickly, runs nice and smoothly. I haven't found any issues with it yet, no bugs so far, but I haven't had, like, you know, a major deep dive. I haven't run multiple plugins at the same time. I haven't really pushed the MPC with this plugin. So, you know, maybe there's potentially some bugs could arise. You know, that's fairly normal for a new plugin, but I'm just super excited about it, about the possibilities. And I just hope that everyone has downloaded this. Not that I want to do Akai and Air out of money, but, you know, they did offer it free. So I just hope that most of you have got this. Most of you that have MPCs have seen people online talking about it, been in the communities, checked your emails, all that kind of stuff, and you've seen it and you've downloaded it for free, because it's a bargain. You know, really, seriously, for a free plugin, it's an absolute bargain. Is it worth $99, which is the price that the RRP? I think that's probably a little bit steep, frankly, but that's just my opinion. If you're using it on a professional basis and you're making money from your beats, then maybe $99 isn't very much, you know. But if perhaps not, then $99 for a filter plugin might seem a bit much. But at the moment, it's free. So if you're watching this before December the 2nd and you haven't already downloaded it, get on Akai's website, in music, etc. Get on there and fill in your email, download it, install it on your MPC, and enjoy. Thank you for watching. I hope that my enthusiasm hasn't been a little bit too much to handle, but I am super enthusiastic about this plugin. So yeah, thanks for watching. My name's Conan. This is the Crates Motel. Until next time.